Hello, this is Akil from Academy Place. So today, 26th October 2022, we'll be discussing a total of 9 topics and all the topics are taken from the Hindu newspaper. So the interested aspirants can download this PDF from this link, this Telegram link. So shall we move on to the topics? The first topic is a renewable energy revolution rooted in agriculture. So here, the beginning of renewable energy revolution rooted in agriculture are taking shape in India with the first bioenergy plant of private company in Sargur district of Punjab. So in Punjab, they are setting a first bioenergy plant. It's a private company plant. It will produce compressed biogas from the paddy straw. So for the recent few days, we have been discussing about the topic of pollution from the paddy stubbles, right? So government has been trying to take many initiatives to decrease the pollution from these paddy stubbles. So one of the initiative is setting up a compressed biogas plant in Punjab. The resultant clouds of smoke engulfed the entire national capital territory of Delhi and neighboring states for several weeks between October to December in this winter season. The government of India has put in several measures and spent a lot of money in tackling the problem. The Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and adjoining areas have developed a framework and an action plan for effectively prevention and control of stubble burning. As we have already studied, the Delhi has given the solution of biodegradable composers to the farmers to reduce these stubbles, right? So there are two types of management there, that is in situ management and ex situ management. In situ management means reducing the stubbles or destroying the stubbles in the site itself, in the field itself, field of paddy field itself, right? This is in situ management. Or ex situ management means taking this stubbles in the paddy field to some other place and destroying the stubbles there. For this, we have studied the example of central government's initiative of pellet units, right? Pellet units. So here, ex situ CRM efforts includes use of paddy straw for biomass power projects and co-firing in thermal power plants and as a feedstock for 2G ethanol plants. It can be also used as a feedstock for 2G ethanol plants. By producing ethanol, we can reduce the oil consumption or oil import from foreign countries. So even our premier planning institution Niti Aayog has approached FAO. FAO is an institution of United Nations in 2019 to explore converting paddy straw and stubble into energy and identify possible ex situ uses of rice straw to complement the in situ program. The results suggested to mobilize 30% of rice straw produced in Punjab and an investment of 2,201 crore would be needed to collect, transport and store it within a 20-day period. This will reduce greenhouse gas emissions by about 9.7 million tons of CO2 equivalent and about 66,000 tons of about PM 2.5 particulate matter 2.5. Further, depending on the market conditions, farmers can expect to borrow 550 and 1,500 per ton of rice straw depending on the market conditions. So, by using these initiatives, farmers can even earn between 550 and 1,500 per ton of rice straw sold. So, with 30% of rice straw produced in Punjab, with 30% of rice straw, total rice straw produced in the means 30% means total 100% belongs to states from UP, Haryana, Delhi, Punjab. Out of these 100%, 30% produced from Punjab alone. From this 30 percentage of rice straw, 5 percentage of CBG uh, production target set by the government of India scheme SATAT, Sustainable Alternative towards affordable transportation. So government has set a target of 100 percentage alternative fuel. In this 100 percentage alternative fuel, 5 percentage can be achieved from the 30 percentage of rice straw produced in Punjab alone. So this scheme is important. It is a scheme of Central Government of India, Sustainable Alternative towards Affordable Transportation, which uses another type of fuel such as CBG or ethanol, right? So next is, this is the company name of the company which has set up its power plant in Punjab. The plant will use 1 lakh tons of paddy straw produced from approximately 16,000 hectares of paddy fields. Paddy residue will be collected from this year to produce 33 tons of CBG and 600 to 650 tons of fermented organic manure per slurry per day. Thus, from the paddy stubble, CBG valued at 46 per kg as per the SADA scheme will be produced. Paddy straw from 1 acre of crop can yield energy output of more than 17,000 in addition to more than 30% of main output. There are several other benefits. The slurry or fermented organic manure from the plant CBG will be used to compost. So, after the process, we will get some waste materials. I mean, this rice straw will be used to produce CBG. These rice straws will be used to produce CBGs after some decomposition process. After decomposition process, we will be having some leftovers, and we can use these leftovers as a manure in the farm fields. So again, we are using these leftovers in the farm field for growing plants. So uh, this is a win-win process, right? So we don't have any waste. Actually, it is a more profitable process. We are actually using the waste to produce CBG, and from that waste, again the waste will be generated or leftover will be generated, and these leftover are used as a manure in the fields, right? So this is more profitable process, and this is a win-win initiative in the form of environmental benefits, renewable energy, value addition to economy, farmers income and sustainability. So as you know, we have seen Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is a premier institution which has replaced the planning institution of India, right? So it has two hubs known as Team India Hub and Knowledge and Innovation Hub. Knowledge and Innovation Hub deeply do some more researches and give some solutions. Team India Hub is a hub where it is a collaboration of all states of India. Okay, so we have also studied about FAO. FAO is known as Food and Agriculture Organization. It is a specialized agency of United Nations. It is formed in the year 1945. Its headquarters is in Rome, Italy. A point to be remembered. And its sector is food and agriculture. Is India is a member? Yes. India is a member of FAO. So we will be moving on to the next topic. TV dominates as a news source despite poor trust levels. So actually, uh, we are seeing many news on television channels, and we know most of the TV channels are owned by private owners. So private owners. So we know that most of the news are biased as per the owner, right? As per the affiliation of the owner, right? So even though people don't trust the TV news, but still it dominates the top position in giving the news. This is the news here. Indian news consumers trust in private news channels is relatively much lower than their beliefs in newspapers, and yet television continues to be the dominant news source. The conclusions are based on the survey done in 2022 by Lok Nidhi program, says here. It is done by the Lok Nidhi program of Center for Studying Developing Societies in partnership with Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. Right? So they have given some tables. So first table is proportion of Indians accessing news through various means. So most of the Indians access news through news channels. And next source is Indian newspapers, and next source is reviewing through the websites. So table 2, through which medium do you mostly get or obtain news? So people get news mostly through television, and next source is newspaper, and next source is radio. Even people are using radio in these days also. Also people get news through other persons like family, friends, neighbors, others, right? So presence of media and communication sources in Indian homes. Presence of media. So television set 75, newspaper 27, magazine to 13, and music system or transistor. So news sources, at least one mobile phone owning member 84, at least one smartphone owning member, computer 19, private internet connection at home 12. So how much do you trust the news disseminated through the news media? So most people trust the news which comes from DD News, which is government owned institution. Next they own newspapers. Next they trust private news channels. Next air news and online news websites. Similarly, people trust the news which comes in Twitter, and then they trust the news on that comes in WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. So this is an useful information for the mains writing, right? And the survey is conducted by Lokniti program of Center of the Study of Developing Sciences in partnership with Konrad Adenauer Stiftung. So shall we move on to the next topic? This is the same data which I have given in a zoomed version for easy viewing. Okay. So next is Ethiopia, its past and current challenge. So before moving on to these full details, let me explain the story so that you can understand it easily. So you can see where the Ethiopia is located. Ethiopia is located near the Horn of Africa, right? And one more thing you have to notice, Ethiopia doesn't have any coastline. Ethiopia depends on Somalia, Djibouti, and Eritrea, right? So Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a landlocked country. Here, it has four states. Ethiopia has four states. Here, north is bordered by Eritrea, and east is bordered by Somalia, south is bordered by Kenya, and west is bordered by Sudan. Here, it has four states, and the specialty of Ethiopia is each state's own military, its own military. Not like India. In India, the union government holds military, right? But in Ethiopia, each state also own military along with the union military. So here we have a state known as Tigray. Here the people are protesting against the government, union government of Ethiopia. So the Tigray military has the conflict with the Ethiopia. So they have been fighting since decades. Here, Ethiopian government used its influence with the Eritrea, and Eritrea government supports the Ethiopia in containing Tigray government. So Tigray has a special force known as Tigray Liberation People's Force. So since they have been attacked from both the sides, the people in these areas are migrating in a mass numbers to other countries. and people are suffering and they are not getting enough foods because they have been locked by both the countries. They have been not getting enough foods. They are, and children and women are suffering a lot. So this is a main international conflict in which today's world is facing. So this is the story. Now let us go into the details. The first formal African Union led peace talks by Ethiopian government and Tigray force since the war 2020 in Ethiopia. So recently there has been talks between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray force in South Africa scheduled between October 24. The Ethiopia has an unique history. During the colonial time, Italian peoples tried to colonize Ethiopia, but these people fought with the Italian government and they emerged victoriously. And Ethiopian government uh, even said that they can form their own government. So, also after signing an agreement known as Treaty of Addis Ababa in 1896, where Italy recognized the country's absolute independence. Right after that, post World War II, here a government was formed, and the government was in support of USSR. So it was a type of Marxist government, communist type of government. When this government formed, there was many rebellions inside them, right? There was many rebellions inside them. At that time only this TPLF was formed. It is known as Tigray's People Liberation Force, and Ethiopian's People Revolutionary Democratic Force was also formed. These peoples have the support of United States. This was a part of Cold War, right? You have to understand this was a part of Cold War. So since the government is since government is getting support from USSR, these government had to face many sanctions because US and West countries tried to impose many sanctions in these countries. After that, um, a government was formed, a formation of modern Ethiopia. After that, this government went into exile and a new government was formed. But also, this Tigray problem was not solved even after forming a new government. And in recent 2020, there was a huge war between the Tigray and the Ethiopian forces. This was all about this topic. So many children and women and many people are also suffering due to this conflict. So shall we move on to the next topic? UNSC members to pay tribute for 26 bar 11 memorial. So you know the attack of 26 bar 11 when the Pakistani terrorists came inside our India and attacked the many important prominent centers in Mumbai. So UNSC members are coming and are going to pay tributes at the 26 bar 11 memorial. So these details are not relevant. What we have to know is what is UNSC. UNSC is one of the primary organs of the United Nations. So what are the other organs? If you see, UNSC is one of the primary organs. Next, United Nations General Assembly. Next, it has an international court. International court. Next, it has an own secretariat. 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 Next, it has its own Economic and Social Council. Economic and Social Council. And it has its own Trusteeship Council. Trusteeship Council. These are the member organs of United Nations. Here, these five organs are active now, also active in present, but this Trusteeship Council is now redundant. It is not working. So these five organs are active even today. So one of the prominent organ of United Nations Security Council, it has 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members, right? So its working is it is one of the six organs of United Nations. Its primary responsibility is to maintain international peace and security, and its permanent headquarters is in New York. Its location is in Westminster, London, and first session was held on 17th of January 1946. So you can see the permanent members. I think the image is so blur. The permanent members are China, France, Russia, UK, and United States, and these members have exclusive power known as veto. And other 10 members are, you can see this in the map, and India is also one of the member, right? And its session is going to be completed in next January. India has been a non-permanent member for 2 years, and this session is going to be completed in January 2023. So shall we move on to the next topic? So familial histories, professional graphs lie end-to-end in service of Supreme Court. So this decade is said to have two Supreme Court judges, right? And the next CJI, Chief Justice of India, is D.Y. Chandrachud. His father is also and Chief Justice of India, past Chief Justice of India. Similarly, after that in line, we have Justice Nagaratna. Her father is also a past Chief Justice of India. So what this article says is fully the in the Supreme Court, the family game is playing more. I mean, this Chief Justice gives priority to son, since because the appointment of Chief Justice in the present situation is done through collegium system. Collegium system. You know, collegium system means the judges appoint their uh, predecessor or next judge through by their own members, right? They will appoint their next judge by their own members. This is known as collegium system, and you also have to study about the three judges cases. Three judges cases. This is not the new thing. Even uh, before, a nephew of Chief Justice of India, Sir H.J. Carney, served as a CJA almost 40 years later. Justice M.H. Kania was the 23rd CJA from December 1992 to November 1992. So we can see also uncle nephew duo in the Chief Justice system or in the Supreme Court system. So according to Article 24, every judge of the Supreme Court shall be appointed by the President by the warrant under his hand and sealed under the after consultation. See this board consultation with the such of judges of Supreme Court and the High Court in the states as President may deem necessary for the purpose and shall hold office until he attains age of 65 years. So this word consultation, the explanation given by Supreme Court is the president doesn't have any of president or the government of India doesn't have full authority to appoint a chief justice or any judge in the country, but they have only a power of consultation. Uh, the judges only have power to decide the next judge or next chief justice of India or next chief justice of High Court, right? Also, you have to study the collegium system and three judges cases. I think recently we have discussed about this collegium system and three judges cases. Recently, the Union Minister of Law has given a statement that this system will be scrapped and government will be appointing their next chief justice or any other judge in the court, because the judicial system has power to intervene in the executive and the legislative, but this judicial system is restricting executive and legislative in appointing their judges. So, Union Minister of Law has said that they are considering to scrap the system. So we will be seeing the development soon, right? So we will be moving on to the next topic. Jaishankar holds talks on the bilateral relations with the Britain's first foreign secretary. So yesterday we had a historical moment that one of the Asian origin or Specifically, we can say one of the Indian origin man has made the Prime Minister of UK. His name is Rishi Sunak. After becoming the Prime Minister, his cabinet is fully reshuffled, but the Foreign Secretary here, they call them as Foreign Secretary, not as Foreign Minister. Foreign Secretary means Foreign Minister, equivalent to our Indian counterpart. So they have not changed the Foreign Secretary, and the past Foreign Secretary remains as the Foreign Secretary of Rishi Sunak's cabinet. So he called and they discussed about the next future developments. So during the later Prime Minister's visit, Boris Johnson's visit, uh, our Prime Minister Modi and Boris Johnson have created a new strategy or new development known as Roadmap 2030. In this Roadmap 2030, they have some areas of development which is about re-energized trade, investments, technological collaborations, enhanced defense and security cooperation, combating climate change, clean energy, healthcare, more dynamic people-to-people exchanges. This is of Roadmap 2030 for one and only India and UK relations. So they discuss about this Roadmap 2030. This meeting is not relevant for our exam, but this is more important. What is meant by Roadmap 2030? Discuss the importance of India UK trade. You can quote these points to get good marks. Right? So we will be moving on to the next topic. Burning of fossil fuel killed over 3 lakh Indians in 2020. So it is estimated that 3,30,000 people died in India due to exposure of particulate matter from fossil fuel combustion in 2020. This was released by the report known as Lancet Countdown on Health and Climate Change, Health at the Mercy of Fossil Fuels. So, government has been lagging in creating a new legislation to prevent this fossil fuel. Even though government has been creating legislations, but government is not actively involving in reducing these carbon fuels. So you can see governments and companies continue to follow the strategies that increasingly threaten the health and the survival of people and the future generations. 45% of urban centers are classified as moderately green. Moderately green means it is a worst stage. Thick green is good stage, moderately green or above, giving an indication of economic loss. The report states that in 2021, Indians lost about 16,720 crore potential labor hours due to this heat exposure with an income equivalent to 5.54% of national GDP. Additionally, it added that duration of growth season of mice has decreased. Even the lifetime of mice has decreased by 2%, and wheat and rice have its lifetime is also decreased by 1%. India had a net negative carbon price indicating that government was effectively subsidizing fossil fuels. So government is effectively subsidizing fossil fuels, right? India allocated a net of 34 billion USD to this in 2019 alone, equivalent to 37.5% of country's national spending that year. So, biomass accounted for 61% of our household energy in 2009, while fossil fuel accounted for another 20%. So, this is all about these details. You can study detailing in this topic. So, we will be moving on to the next topic. Cyclone Citrang kills at least 24 people in Bangladesh. So, we will be studying more detail. Here, they have not given enough details, but what you have to understand is Cyclone Citrang have attacked Bangladesh, right? This is something important. After that, we will be studying in India Bangladesh relations. What are the helps which are done by India to Bangladesh in the cyclone Citra? Since it is irrelevant because it has attacked in Bangladesh, we don't have to study detailedly. So next topic is India's export to China growing faster than inbound shipments. Even though we have a physical gap between India and China, and India's import is more than the India's export. India's export is growing as per this article. I have searched for the relevant graph data, but I didn't receive it. I think this article will get importance, and it will be explained more detail in coming articles. So we'll be discussing over that. For as of now, we will see what the data they have been given. Two countries having grown by 59% from 2014 to 15 to now we have around 115.4 billion, right? From 72 billion to 115.4 billion, around 59% growth from 2014 to 15. Since India China trade pickup started up, the growth in exports to China has been much higher than the import growth, right? So, the from 11.9 billion in FY9, India's exports to China had risen 78.1%. So, 11.9 billion was exported to China from India in year 2015. But today we are selling 21.25 billion. So it has improved dramatically, and per increase of percentage 78.1, while imports stood at 94.16 billion, 55% of over 60 percentage of billion record. So India's imports was 60.4 billion in 2015. Right now we have an import of 94.16 billion, and it improved 55.8. So actually the percentage, if you look at the percentage, the export percentage have increased more than the import percentage. So by contrast, imports from China had decreased by 192% between 2006 and 7 and 2013 to 14. Imports have decreased. Intermediate goods account for more than a third of. So one of the most important things which India's export is intermediate goods. So what is meant by intermediate goods? For example, to make a tire, a tire is made up of rubber. So to make a rubber tire, we will be selling rubber raw materials or rubber rubber sheets to China. This is known as intermediate materials. We are not selling raw materials. Instead, we are selling rubber sheets to the China. This is known as intermediate goods. Or intermediate goods is one of the thing which we sell mostly to China. It is about one third, right? While capital goods constituted around 19.3%. Now, capital goods means machineries. Machineries to do or to develop certain things. For example, if you want to create a food, you want some certain machineries. These machineries are known as capital goods, and it constituted about 19.3%. And the major items of import from China. So what are the things we majorly import? Electronic components, computer hardware, telecom instruments, organic chemicals, industrial machinery, residual chemicals and allied products, electronic instruments, bulk drugs and intermediates. So one of the things which helped in improving more exports is PLI scheme, Production Linked Incentive Scheme by the Government of India. So this is for all today. You can download the PDF from the above link. Thank you.